Elisa Lam was 21 years old. She was a Canadian college student traveling alone, charting a solo path down the California coastline to clear her head. Her itinerary hit all the picturesque milestones of a classic road trip. She stopped to take in the ocean air and walked along the piers, acting like any other traveler on a holiday. But the bright coastal optimism faded as she drove inland. She soon found herself navigating the dense, overwhelming concrete corridors of downtown Los Angeles. A sprawling modern metropolis offers endless distractions, but it also creates a unique kind of isolation. In an environment this vast and anonymous, a vulnerable traveler can disappear without anyone in the crowd noticing. Looking for affordable lodging, she booked a room at the Cecil Hotel. She had no way of knowing the building's history was populated by transient guests and a long list of police reports. On January 31st, her routine remained unremarkable. She visited a nearby bookstore, chatted pleasantly with the staff, and bought souvenirs for her family. Yet, when night fell, she never returned to her room. Her luggage, clothes, and personal items were found undisturbed, exactly where she had left them. No signs of a struggle, no frantic calls for help, no physical evidence of a crime. Most investigations rely on a clear starting point, but here, the search began and ended inside a room that revealed nothing. After 2 weeks of dead-end searches, the Los Angeles Police Department held a press conference. They released a single piece of security footage to the public, hoping for a lead. The grainy video shows Elisa stepping into one of the hotel's elevators. She presses multiple buttons, then stands in the center, waiting. But the machinery doesn't respond. The doors remain open to the hallway. Her behavior shifts. She steps forward, cautiously leaning out to check both directions down the corridor, before quickly retreating back into the elevator car. By refusing to close, the elevator strips away the only physical barrier to the hallway. The small, open compartment offers no protection, leaving her entirely visible to the floor outside. Her body language becomes erratic. She presses herself tightly into the corner of the elevator cab, trying to stay out of sight. She begins darting forward to peek around the doorframe and then shrinking back, demonstrating a clear attempt to hide. Yet the camera shows a motionless corridor. Despite her intense, panicked physical reactions, no one ever enters the frame. Finally, she steps out of the elevator cab. She moves to the left, slipping out of the camera's fixed view and into the corridor. The true horror of this footage is the dissonance. We see visceral terror in her movements, while the objective lens of the camera shows there is absolutely nothing there. 3 weeks passed with no new leads. Then, hotel management began receiving a series of unusual complaints from guests staying in the rooms below. The building's water pressure had dropped to a trickle. More alarmingly, the liquid coming out of the taps was dark and carried a foul taste. To find a source of the contamination, a maintenance worker climbed to the roof to investigate the hotel's water tanks. Inspecting the enormous metal cisterns, the worker found an open hatch. Inside, submerged in the hotel's water supply, was the body of Elisa Lam. In that moment, the mystery of the missing girl became a physical reality for the guests. They realized they had been using and drinking the water from that tank for weeks. The discovery immediately presented logistical problems. The roof was protected by locked security doors and active alarms that were never triggered during her stay. Furthermore, accessing the tank was difficult. A single person would have to scale the exterior, lift a heavy metal lid, and then somehow close that hatch behind them from the inside. Despite these obstacles, the Los Angeles Police Department issued a final conclusion: accidental drowning, with no evidence of foul play. This official ruling requires the audience to accept a series of improbable physical maneuvers. It leaves viewers caught between the evidence on the footage and a conclusion that explains very little.